Okay, um, I didn't completely understand. So this is a video about like Zettelkasten and Obsidian. Um, so Obsidian is specifically designed for Zettelkasten nodes, um, and so I have this habit of taking tons and tons of notes. So look at all my notes. I have 4,000 notes from 2010 maybe. Um, I have at least 10 years of notes. And my problem with this is searching through this, like retrieving information is super painful. So I've already gotten to the uh, collector's mode where I'm collecting tons of information. But like scrolling through this is just tedious, right? Like for example, let's say I have some information, some research that did on cycle purchase. Um, like it's all super tedious to find out. Like I wouldn't even know what is there, right? So and sometimes when I search for something, right, let's say I search for markdown, right, so all a lot of things turn up. Or let's say, if okay, simple thing is if I search for postgres, right, so I've taken notes on postgres, but there's a lot of daily notes that turn up, which is this is my daily log of things, right. I'm actually just this task that I've determined for each day, which is just purely just a daily log, right. It doesn't mean anything more. But um, but what I'm actually looking for is probably, let's say, mastering post. So I'm probably looking for something like this, like Postgres SQL, right? These are the most relevant things to this particular search term, but it's literally impossible to find, right? And Apple Notes doesn't have tagging system, doesn't have backlinking system. So in general, I've been facing this pain for a long time, but I didn't know how to solve the problem, right? Um, so just got a hint of it in Zettelkasten and Obsidian, so I want to try it out. Now okay, I'll show you how the structure of this is different from uh, the structure of Apple Notes. Let's pick up. Let's say I've created something called keywords. I've created a Postgres. So now I opened. Oh, okay, cool. So let me first try and it, it's going to be a little random. This video is going to be like not structured properly. Let's see. So let's say split horizontally, and I want to open backlinks, right? So this thing has a bunch of backlinks where it says me that there is uh, how to update fixtures with Postgres database, something that has been tagged with Postgres, right? Postgres with Brew, and setting up new database with the these are things that is already linked with Postgres. This is the most relevant thing about Postgres, right? In a typical text, when I do a daily log, I wouldn't actually mention Postgres in this particular format, in square braces format, linking back to this, right? And so each tag, right? Each of these are markdown files. All of these are markdown files. So technically, I can do this, where I can basically open, let's say, something like this, and I'm basically saying how to update fixtures. Right? This is related to Postgres. This is related to dev. Now, I could have actually done this also. This is also considered as a tag. But the problem with this, if I do control click, it'll actually search for this. It'll give me all this stuff. But the thing is, it doesn't have like a like it's slightly different from Postgres, slightly different from this format of doing things in square brackets, where I can even write a piece of text about this, right? I can write, hey, I'm writing a purpose. I'm saying this is for capturing everything related to Postgres. The problem with the hashtag is that after some time I forget what this was about, right? So my brain forgets what this keyword was about, and I end up messing it up. At the same time, if I have a page for it, right, like it tells me, okay, why did I design it, what's the purpose, and then there are backlinks to it, so which actually solves my problem, right? So let's just get rid of this now. So now I've been using the UI. Now one aspect of it, this is literally a dev tool, right? So I have, like, I do control O, then I have all these things. I can start typing the file if I already know what I'm looking for, right? So this is searching for the file names, right? Uh, not the not the search keyword, right? So this is a world of difference compared to Apple Notes, because you're so used to on Sublime, like once you remember the file names, right, it's sort of easy to like find that file, right? It's easy to find that file. Let's say, for example, let's say I'm looking for view device, right? Like I find the file, go to the file quickly. I can do the stuff like I'm working with multiple files. I can jump between files very quickly. Postgres with brew. I'm working on this. Okay, Postgres um, with let's say fixtures. I want to do fixtures. Oh, wait, fixtures. It doesn't. Oh, wait, I opened the wrong thing. Fixtures. How to update fixtures? See, I can jump between files very quickly. I can't do that on Apple Notes, right? So now then there is tons of like keyboard shortcuts. Like for example, Command D will actually shift between the proper view versus edit view, and the settings is just incredibly feature rich. There is so many things you can actually do. Um, there is code folding. There is as in you can fold the headings. There is options to do that and so shortcuts to do that. And then you have you can customize your shortcuts, and a lot of these shortcuts are already predefined. Um, and some of these things are super useful, which is basically I'm basically saying it's literally a code editor. It's a super nice code editor. And imagine like a code editor or a IDE functionality being given to like a notebook, right? And with links as first class citizens. Okay, so now if you look at if you might look at my retrieval system, right? So this is a good retrieval system. I can quickly search for I'm not looking for keywords with Postgres. I'm searching for file names with Postgres in it, right? Because I might actually have that stuff. So this is one level of retrieval system. Another level of retrieval system is if I tag it properly, then I can actually, okay. So if I control and mouse over on top of this, you can actually see a sample of that file. This is just mind blowing. So this is not there by default, and like you have to enable the setting, right? So it's just crazy, man. So then there is the graph view. It'll start giving you a sense of, okay, this is the standard stuff. Like it'll start giving me a sense of like what am I mostly writing about, what are the topics. Like there's a lot of things related to dev that I put up, there's things related to documentation that I put up, there is things related to Postgres or YouTube, right? Oh, okay. Another stuff that I want to show you is source, right? Let's go to this. So YouTube is something that's defined. This is a source file, right? This is not a tag, right? So this is something I saw in a video. I will share the link to the video later. So something called as Stack Overflow, GitHub, YouTube, right? So generally, sometimes I might remember that, hey, you know what? I found a solution on Stack Overflow, or I remember that I saw this video on YouTube, or something like that, right? So for example, let's say continuous integration documentations, right? So let's do Control E. Let's slightly minimize this. Now, like I watched this video, right? And I put a couple of screenshots so that I sort of remember what that video is about, right? Now, so when I'm trying to retrieve information, sometimes I think, okay, I remember I watched this YouTube video, and so that helps me narrow down my search based on it, right? I can basically come here and then I basically look at what are the linked dimensions. So this is one backlink option for it. Now let's look at the search stuff, right? So I'll do square bracket keyword, sorry, YouTube, and I'll search for let's say docs. Then you look at how crazy this is. Right, I'm able to narrow down to that particular stuff very, very quickly. And this search conditions are and, right? That's an important stuff. Okay, so in Apple Notes, this bloody thing is actually or conditions, which doesn't make any sense. So it becomes very difficult to narrow down, right? So if I do Postgres and if I do, let's say, something like Mailgun, it's supposed to show me a couple of files. Okay, now it appears to be acting as and, but most of the times it doesn't act as and. Okay, weird. Maybe they changed the logic. I remember it used to be or. Fine, cool. So then that's not such a big deal then. But it allows you to like specifically look for something very, 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 like it allows you to narrow down. Okay. Now you can also do this. You can do minus YouTube, and so you'll basically find out all the things that doesn't contain this, but contains the world doc. You can't do that. So what I'm saying is it's a power tool. It's just a crazy power tool for information retrieval. Now I want to show you a couple of settings. I forgot some of these things. So one, it's markdown, so it's going to be incredibly extendable. Your data source is actually not going to go anywhere any soon. You can keep the files, you can commit into GitHub. So like your stability of the system is actually almost literally guaranteed. like I'm not going to trust by moving into another service. I'm not going from Apple Notes to Beer Notes to Evernotes. Like it's not none of that stuff, right? So I get to keep the source files, which is a significant value proposition. Oh, okay. They have this interesting feature called Open Today's Note. Can you see this? Right. So uh, when you set it up, they auto create a note. Like when as soon as you click on it, they auto create a note. I'll show you. So I've created a folder called daily, and you can start creating notes here. Now the crazy part about this is I think this was a plugin, right? In settings, daily notes. So I can define what folder is it defined in, and I can create a template for this. Can you believe that? Like I can create a template for the daily note, which is specified in some other file, and so literally every day the template is copy pasted. So what I'm trying to say is the plugin ecosystem is just crazy. Like it's super optimized. You can custom create your own plugin. It's not version 1.0 yet, but it's just a crazy power tool. So this is one example of one plugin, and there are tons of other plugins. Some plugins are by default installed. Some things you have to. I still haven't played around with all these things. I need to find out what this is. But like the initial, like the foundation is rock solid in terms of how extendable it is. I have a feeling that this is just going to be my my favorite. There's no way. Like I'm just going to migrate to this very soon. The couple of reasons why I'm sticking to Apple Notes. There are some cases where the Apple Notes make sense, just in its polish, like all these level polish. Like I can do this and it goes to the bottom. Like some of these things, right? Is generally nice to have, but these are not. I mean, I wouldn't stick to it because of this, right? I feel all these things will turn up in this thing very quickly. It's just a matter of time, right? So if you look at all these notes, right? So now the way I manage the note is like this. So let's do control E, so I can see the stuff. And now if I do mouse over, there's nothing in Stack Overflow. I haven't created anything. So like if I mouse over, this will tell me what it is, right? Okay, I'm using it. So I've created a document for this, right? So it'll tell me it's a tag or a keyword. This is a tag or a keyword. This is a tag or a keyword. And the thing is, later on, I can. So I control clicked it. It can open up here. Then you have all these crazy multi-window funda. Like you can split the window vertically, and you can open something else there. Like you can do. If I click here, click on Stack Overflow. I can control click, it opens in a separate page. Go to the edit mode, click on YouTube, yeah, right? So like I can have this view of the same note over here. I can have let's say I'm working on something, I also want to work on something else. Like all that kind of stuff can be done. One point that I was trying to say. So here is how I structure the note. So so from an expansion perspective, right? Let's say later down the line, let's say I'm going to open dev here instead. So let's see if this works. Yeah, that worked. So you click on that window and then Control O. So basically, like okay, fine. So this worked. So now, if I want to expand on this, right? Let's say this is a place where I can actually build an index. Now, for this tag, everything related to the dev, there is backlinks. Obviously, this guy has backlinks, which is fine. But if I want to like have an index of the most important things about dev, right? I can mention that here. So the thing is, this system is just ridiculously scalable, and because it's markdown, like it's just insane. So so I just started playing around this by myself. I didn't understand it so much, right? And then what I did is I went and watched a whole bunch of video on Zettelkasten. That's when I did Control R, refresh. Sorry. I went and watched a couple of videos. So Zettelkasten is best intro videos. So I've defined source here, and I've decided keywords here. So I can at any point of time I can actually relate it back to Zettelkasten, and then I've just mentioned the couple of notes, right? Like I've watched this video, and just watched this video, right? So these two videos are really good. How to take smart notes, Zettelkasten. It's this particular video talks about Rome research, but I got the structure of writing the stuff from them. I got that idea. So that makes, this structure makes a lot of sense. I think this video is also pretty good. These are two short videos by the same channel, and this is one long video. This is about Obsidian. All the details about Obsidian, and this video is, I mean, this is a pretty long video, but I think it'll give you a lot of ideas about what's possible with Obsidian. So Obsidian has a lot of hidden things. So you need to go through this, and there is a lot of functionality here. And one important thing to enable is go to About and open the Obsidian help. So what it'll do is it'll create a new vault. I think this was the new vault. Yeah, this is the Obsidian vault. So in this there is like crazy amount of things which has been documented. So they don't use the linking structure here. They actually link it within here only. So people seems to have different styles of doing things. This is the folding funda. Like you can fold it. Right, so you need to go through this. This is actually super nice. So if you start going through this, you will actually see what all is possible. Different plugins, what all is actually supported. And they have release notes, accepted file formats, Obsidian. Start here. Yeah, and they have also import functionalities. You can import from this thing. Their forum is ridiculously active, but it's just too active. Like it might be difficult to follow up with it. Where did I see import from? Let's see if this works. Import, how to importing data. So see, check this out. This is how crazy this tool is. Okay, cool. I think that should summarize my excitement about Obsidian and Zettelkasten.